Hey everybody, how you doing? IntoWeapons back again with you. Wanted to do a video today on a pretty cool product that I found from LAW Tactical. I pre-ordered this back in January for a total of $51 shipped to my door. They did start shipping them out in late March, or I should say early March, and I received it in late March. But it's a pretty neat little concept that they have going on here, and I haven't really played around with it at all, so we're going to kind of test this together. But again, it's coming from a LAW Tactical, as you can see here. It's made for AK-47s and AK-74s, and they're calling it the AK Accuracy Sight, I guess. But really what it's essentially doing is it's replacing your rear leaf sight with another sight system that they have here, which will accept any standard Glock or aftermarket Glock sight system, which is a really neat concept considering the fact that Glocks have just a bazillion amount of options out there for sight systems. So this is pretty neat. I thought it would be worth the $51 and decided to throw it on my Arsenal SLR101S, and I'll do an installation video here shortly for you guys. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside this package that you get from LAW Tactical. You have the instruction manual on how to install everything. Comes with a sticker, it looks like here. You have an Allen wrench with 3 set screws, which holds the sight into the AK sight system here. And we have the rear sight, and we'll go ahead and pull that out of the bag and give you an idea of what that looks like. As you can see here, it looks pretty similar to a standard AK-47 sight, except for the fact that in the back there, you don't have your notch where you would normally peep through. Instead, you'll have a channel that's kind of machined out there inside there, which will allow us to slip in any standard Glock sight into the sight there. So, a pretty neat system. We'll go ahead and see how it works. They unfortunately when it was shipped, mine was lost in mail, so I had to contact them, and they resent me another one. They were really great customer service over there at LAW Tactical. They did send me a brand new one in the mail. For the inconvenience of the shipping delay, they did include a standard Glock sight here, so I was able to show you an example of what just a standard Glock would look like, a standard Glock sight. I think these run about $20. And as you can see there, you have kind of a high visibility channel that's cut out there, and this again is just a standard Glock sight that comes with most Glock pistols. And what you can essentially do is we'll be driving this into this channel, and I'm not going to do it right now because it is a bit tight. They got a good tight tolerance on there, but that's essentially what you're going to be seeing when you peep through your rear sight then on an AK-47. And again, this is just the standard Glock sight that most Glocks come with. I ordered from Amazon, and this ran me about $27, but I ordered a fully adjustable rear Glock sight. Now this one will adjust for elevation, it'll adjust for windage, and you can see it's much more substantial of a sight because of that. But I'm thinking this will probably be a pretty cool addition to the LAW Tactical, being that I'll be able to, much like an RPK type sight, adjust everything right from this rear sight system here. So another option I might be looking at in the future is getting some night sights, just to kind of test out what that looks like. But as you can imagine, the options here are really endless for this type of sight system. So really cool concept. Let's go ahead and do an installation video and show you how it looks compared to the original sight system. So installation is pretty straightforward. We're just going to take this rear sight like this, and we're going to take our Glock sight and we're just going to slide it into the channel that's provided here. Some Glock sights will be tight, some will be loose. It really just depends on the specific sight. What you want to do is just make sure that when you're sitting it in here that it's fully seated into the channel. And it looks like this one's going to be a little bit tight, so I may have to go back with a pin or a drive punch and just kind of drive this in. So we'll go ahead and do that off camera here so I can get a good view on it. Alright, so we went and drove the rest of this sight into the channel, and it did. This one was pretty tight, so I did take a little bit of work on my part to get it in there without breaking anything or messing anything up. But as you can see there, it sits pretty well. There isn't any gaps or anything like that. And you can see that the Glock sight, this particular adjustable sight, does reach over. If I can get this to work here. Everything's opposite. There we go. It does reach over the end of the sight system here a good, I don't know, maybe 2 millimeters or so. So it does overhang quite a bit. But again, this is the adjustable Glock sight, so that it makes it a little bit bulkier than the standard sights. And overall, though, it's a real nice tight fit in there. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But if it does want to move, that's why they provide this Allen wrench and 3 set screws here, which will go into the back to hold everything in. And I think the instruction said you don't technically need to use these, but I'm going to go ahead and use them anyway. And there should be 3, and I probably just lost one, but we'll go back and look for that in a little bit here off camera. But we got 2 of them. We'll go ahead and stick our Allen wrench in. These things are just tiny. There we go, and stick one in there, and we'll go ahead and start in the center and then work our way from the left to the right after that. And I'll do this off camera, but I'm just going to give you an idea of what essentially we're doing. And the instructions were very clear as to not over tighten on this because you could damage the underside of the Glock sight. So I just hand tightened that real nice, and that should hold this sight in there without making it move back and forth and really secure it down nice. The next step for our installation will be putting it on the rifle itself. Okay, so we got it installed on the rifle, and as I expected, it was a bear to get this back into the sight system here, and just really had to push on it. A lot of grunting and groaning, but did get it back in there. Not that huge of a deal. I've had the more difficult things, but as you can see there, it sits pretty well. It's still got the nice tension on there. This thing is still difficult to move back and forth, but again, that ain't going to make a difference being that I have the adjustable Glock sight on here. I do notice that it's a lot longer in length compared to the original sight system, and if you notice, it does overhang on the dust cover quite a bit there. There's quite a bit of a overhang there. But that really isn't that big of a deal compared to the original. That really isn't that big of a deal. It's not going to affect functionality or anything like that, so I'm not worried about that. But overall, it looks pretty good. It's a nice solid design. We'll see if we can get you a picture of kind of what the sight system looks like. Alright, so we have everything installed here. I'll go ahead and try to see if I can get you guys a good sight picture there of what it kind of looks like. It's going to be kind of difficult for me here, I apologize, but it does seem like it's got a pretty good sight picture. In between since there is a lot of space between these 2 posts here, when you do line up the front post, there is a lot of real estate between the post and these 2 posts, so you kind of have to center it your best just by judgment wise. And I really find that this would probably be better used, at least with this particular Glock sight, as a fast acquisition type sight. You know, something that you're going to look at maybe 50 to 75 yards max. But as far as a fast acquisition, that certainly would be a great sight to have on there. You get a good sight picture with it. And again, with that fully adjustability to it, that certainly gives it some functionality that a standard sight doesn't have. So overall, I like the concept. I think there's a lot of potential with it, being that there's just a ton of different sights out there available for Glock, which I'll end up probably putting a ton of money into just buying a bunch of different Glock sights and seeing how they work on this thing. But overall, I really like the concept. The design and function of it is exactly as they intended. I would like to see just that this is shortened a little bit. I don't know if there was a particular reason that they did that or not, but overall, pretty impressed. I really don't have any other complaints on it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I think I give the thumbs up on the LAW AKuracy sight. You really can't find any faults with it. So, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, take it easy.